Good evening, all my South Orange Maplewood listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Millburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange and Newark. Welcome to In the Village With Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience, and live on the World Wide Web at somore.org. And the only radio show covering all your news, opinions, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Maplewood communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. And reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now tonight, ladies and gentlemen, this may be sad news for South Orange and Maplewood. It has come to my attention that there is a lawsuit against the South Orange Maplewood School District. And we're going to get into that. You stay tuned for that. So, there have been a formal complaint lodged with the Voting Rights Section of the Civil Rights Division of the United States Department of Justice against the South Orange Maplewood School District. We're going to get into that tonight in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. And I've said many times in the past, it's better for us to sit behind closed doors and have discussions regarding the situation that we have in South Orange and Maplewood, rather than for us to be spending our taxpayers' dollars to pay attorneys and go to court to fight such actions. So we are going to get into that right here tonight in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. Let's get to the news as we normally give you in the Village with Anselm on the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience. The news from the different online newspapers and different websites covering South Orange and Maplewood. Let's go to the Essex News Daily. Post Office redevelopment pushed back to January 2015. Mayor Vic DeLuca announced at a Township Committee meeting that the demolition and construction of the post office site in Maplewood Village has been pushed back to January 2015 rather than this summer as anticipated. The post office site at 160 Maplewood Avenue will be redeveloped by L&M Development Partners with Wilder Bolter Partners Incorporated into a mixed-use building. Essentially, the ground floor will hold King's Should Be Supermarket choose to move across the street. A detail that has yet to be finalized. The first floor will be set aside for retail, approximately 3 store spaces, and top floor will be devoted to approximately 25 apartments, 10% of which will be set aside as affordable housing at the request of the township. The Maplewood Village Alliance Design Review Committee has worked with the redevelopers on crafting an acceptable design for the building and subject to more design approval for specific materials and colors and signage and things like that. Essentially, the design was approved by that group, DeLuca said at the meeting, discussing the MVA's recent acceptance of the redevelopment plan. DeLuca then explained that the next stage is for L&M to go before the Maplewood Planning Board for approval. This step is expected to take place either late June or July. Soma presents Brand New Day final concert of the season. The Society of Musical Arts Orchestra presents the final concert of the season on Sunday, June the 1st. Brand New Day continues the orchestra's season-long focus of contemporary compositions and new composers. The highlight of the concert will be Robert Aldrich's piece for orchestra, Brand New Day. Aldrich, currently professor and director of music at Mason Gross School of Arts at Rutgers University, will coach the orchestra in his piece and will answer questions from the audience at the concert. Other pieces on the program will be an organs concerto by Pulenek with Eugene Levery as soloist, and Syllablius Symphony No. 2 in D major, OP 43. Let's go over to the alternative press. Let's go over to the maplewoodian.com before we get to the alternative press. Maplewood man killed in Connecticut bridge accident. A Maplewood man struck by a car knocked off an Interstate 95th bridge has been found dead in the Housatonic River beneath the bridge. The Connecticut Post reports that state police identified the victim as Emmanuel Felix of Maplewood. The 38-year-old Felix was traveling south on I-95 with 5 other people when a car tire went flat on Saturday night. Police say a car driven by Natalie Rojas of Bridgeport approached the right lane and her car struck warning triangles near the disabled car. The 19-year-old Rojas simply turned into the center lane, lost control, and veered back into the right lane, striking Felix and another pedestrian whose leg was injured. Rojas was not immediately charged. And don't forget tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the school board meeting is tonight. It starts at 7:30 p.m. It's at 525 Academy Street in Maplewood. And they have an agenda there that you definitely want to go over there and let your voices be heard. So tonight, the school board meeting at 7:30 p.m. at 525 Academy Street in Maplewood. It's a public board meeting. And we're going to get a little bit into this article about how much does the district spend on each student. We're going to get into that. How much does the district spend on each student? And this is very sad news to report, ladies and gentlemen. And Maplewood man praised for 9/11 work dies. Ernesto Butcher, a veteran of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, who was praised for his calm leadership in the days and weeks after the September 11 terror attack destroyed the World Center, has died at age 69. Butcher, who worked for the Port Authority for 41 years, suffered a heart attack while walking near his Maplewood home and died Thursday, the agency said. Butcher retired in 2012 as Chief Operating Officer of the Port Authority, which run the state bridges, tunnels, airports, and other transit hubs, and owns the Lower Manhattan World Trade Center site. He held the title since 2000. Before that, he held numerous positions, including manager of the George Washington Bridge and Port Authority Bus Terminal, and director of tunnels, bridges, and terminals. He began as a management trainee in 1971. The Port Authority Director of Port Commerce, Rick Larrabee, worked under Butcher beginning in 2000 and recalled how they made it down to the street from the agency office high up in the World Trade Center, North Tower, on September 11th, 2001. And I must tell you, ladies and gentlemen, is it with great sadness, because I was driving on Ridgewood Road on that same day that I saw, because I knew Ernesto, and I saw him walking. I know he was always running, but I saw him walking that day, and just maybe, you never know, if I had stopped, maybe things would have been different today. You just never know, ladies and gentlemen. You never know. When I actually saw him that day, he was walking, and most of the times when I see him, he's always running. And then I told, boy, maybe I could have made a difference in Ernesto's life, and maybe, just maybe, he would have been still here with us. Maplewood Village Post Office, an endangered historic site. Some group called Preservation New Jersey has determined the Maplewood Village Post Office, slated for demolition and replacement by a housing retail project, is among New Jersey's top 10 most endangered historic site. Maplewood Post Office, An anchor for downtown Maplewood, the post office building, is under threat of demolition. It lost will change the character of the town. Change the character of the town, yes, for the better. And this is Joe Strupp here. We heartily disagree with this assessment. It makes you wonder who is judging these things. I guess we get back into that article. We will get back into that article. Let's go over to the alternative press. See what's happening. Columbia High School state champion fencers honored by Essex County freeholders. The Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders honored Columbia High School State Championship girls and boys fencing team during its meeting at the South Orange Performing Arts Center. Both teams had undefeated seasons and were ranked number 1 in New Jersey. Freeholder Carol Clark of East Orange, Freeholder Gerald Owens of South Orange, and Freeholder Vice President Patricia Siebold of Livingston, presented the commendations. 2014 have been a very good year for fencing at Columbia High School, said Clark, by winning the girls and boys team championships, and by both teams finishing their season undefeated, ranked number 1 in the state, and named the teams of the year by the Star Ledger. Columbia has proven yet again that it is the epicenter of fencing excellence in New Jersey. A special congratulations to the Columbia boys and girls fencing team. And as we continue the alternative press, Soma Board of Education approved reappointments of all non-tenured staff. Despite public concern voiced by the staff of the South Orange Middle School, the South Orange Board of Education voted Wednesday evening to approve the reappointment of all staff members, including South Orange Maplewood School Principal Joseph Uligliaro, for the 2014-2015 academic year. During the last few months, there have been repeated calls for the principal's removals, as teachers from South Orange Middle School have addressed the board to express their feelings about him and the tension between teachers and administrators. The May 15 meeting was not much different. During the hearings of individuals and delegation period, when members of the public may address the board, Mrs. Elisa Mills Spina, parent of an incoming 6th grade student to the South Orange Middle School, as well as the current librarian, spoke of the changes she said she has witnessed firsthand. When I came to South Orange Maplewood, I found a place where the administration and teachers collaborated well and respected one another, which created a true school community, she said. I have watched that disappear. It makes me sad and worried about the future. Others also voiced their concern and asked the board members, do what's right for the children. And finally, from the alternative press, Soma Big to present humorous motivational speaker Tammy Evans on Wednesday. The next big Believe, Inspire, Grow meeting on Wednesday, May the 21st, will feature guest speaker Tammy Adams, whose varied business background combined with extensive professional performance experience and training will teach participants how to enhance their presentation skills. The meeting will take place at the Wellness Lounge located at 14 South Orange Avenue. Tammy believes every personality is a story waiting to be told, and she wants to help make you a bestseller, said Soma Pod co-leader Catherine Stratton. There you have it, the news from the Essex New Daily and the Alternative Press. More news when we come back.
The South Orange Maplewood Community Coalition on Race presents its first annual Cultural Heritage Festival on June 14th.